Hi there, my name is Dot Porter, and I'm the Curator for Digital Research Services in the University of Pennsylvania Libraries. I work in the Kislak Center for Special Collections, Rare Books, and Manuscripts, and I split my time with the Schoenberg Institute for Manuscript Studies. SIMS, as we call it, is a research and development group that is located in the Kislak Center, and we focus on manuscript studies very broadly defined. So we work with digital manuscripts and we have physical collections, mostly medieval manuscripts, but also ranging out of the medieval period. Although I am a medievalist, and most of what we're going to be looking at today as part of this walkthrough of digital Mappa is going to focus on medieval materials for a few different reasons. So this is a walkthrough kind of tutorial for digital Mappa. So digital Mappa, it's an open source digital humanities platform for open access workspaces, projects, and publications. Digital Mappa has been developed by Martin Foys. He is a professor of English and digital humanities at the University of Wisconsin. And SIMS has been involved with the development of DM for quite a few years. We partnered with Martin on an NEH grant and have sort of stayed involved over the years. And since DM has entered its 2.0 phase, which is very exciting, we are now hosting an installation of DM at SIMS. And we are inviting people from the Penn community and from Philadelphia to use DM to build their own projects. Although anybody who wants to is more than welcome to watch this tutorial. It's really aimed at people at Penn in the Philadelphia area, particularly people who are interested in our local manuscripts. So part of what I'm going to be doing is showing you how you can use DM to build a project around manuscripts that were digitized as part of the Bibliotheca Philadelphiensis project. And I'll say a little bit more about that later. So as I've been talking, you have no doubt been watching the screen and you have been seeing these screenshots go across. So you may even by now have sort of an idea about what DM projects look like and the kind of things that they're doing. So you can see there's a lot of images. There are a lot of annotations. There are colorful boxes and highlights. And I'm going to show you how you do this. DM is essentially about linking things together. It's very much about annotating. It's about linking text and image. You can use it to link transcriptions to text. You can use it to link descriptions to images and all kinds of things. It's actually really, really flexible in how it works like that. The DM website is at digitalmappa.org, and you can come here to view showcase projects. These are projects that are hosted at SIMS and also at Wisconsin. We'll take a look at a couple of them when we go through the walkthrough. You can also learn a little bit more about DM, learn about the history, how it works. You can get to know the people involved. There are some different guides that are available on the website, and these will supplement what I'm going to be talking you through today. There is a viewer guide. As a user coming to a project, there is a certain amount of a learning curve, and so this document could be very helpful for that. If you want to create DM projects, I'm going to walk you again through how to do that. But this document will also be very helpful. The creators were aware of some of the issues that are coming out of DM 2.0, and we're actually looking at going through the next phase and fixing some of those things. So if you find that it's not doing something that you think it should be doing, you can come here and sort of see what's going on. If you want to install your own DM instance, there are instructions here. But we also have our installation at Penn, which you are welcome to sign up for and use to create your own projects. Let's take a look at that. So this is DM. The URL for our installation is sims2.digitalmappa.org. And if you go there, it's not very beautiful, but you can see immediately which projects are public. If you want to create your own account, you can come here and register your new user, put in your email, whatever you want your display name to be, confirm a password, and then click register. I am already registered, so I'm going to sign in. And the first thing that's happened is there are now other projects that are here, projects that aren't public that I have access to. Some of them are mine, and some of them aren't, but I'm an admin. So if you sign up for an account, you can email me, and then I can come in and accept your registration here. So first, let's have a look at a couple of different projects that are here. So you can sort of get a sense of the kinds of projects that people are making with this. So here is a project of Martin's, an Old English and Medieval Latin edition. So in this instance, he's used DM to build an edition of this sort of dual Old English and Latin text. One of the great things that you can do about DM is you can organize your material into sets. And in terms, I think of it in terms of book chapters. So it's a little bit like a book with chapters, only the chapters are sort of like folders full of material. So we have the introductory materials. These documents that have the T there, these are text. And so if I click on that, you can see this, in this case, this is sort of how to document, how to use the edition, how to cite it. You can embed images into editions. So here we've embedded the Sims logo there. There's then moving on, there's instruction and bibliography. Here we go. So I clicked on this and it just opened right up here. So we'll close that one and then we have that one, the visual collation. So all this information here. And these are all text documents. But what about the edition itself? Here is the Latin version of this text. It's in this manuscript. So first we have the image files. It looks like it's on one folio. We've got 102 recto and 102 verso. Then there's a text document of the transcription. There's a modern English translation, and there's a Latin glossary. So in this case, there are a few different ways that you can go about viewing this edition, depending on what you want to see. So I like to look at manuscripts. So I'm going to actually start by opening up this first page. So I'm going to click that and it's going to open up. And here is the manuscript. You can see immediately that it's been annotated word by word because we have these underlines. And if you mouse over them, you will get these little windows that pop up. And this is the links. These are the links that the editor has built in, and it shows you where you can go. So there are 3 parts to these little pop-up windows. The first is the title. And this is a title, and when we get to the point where we're making our own, you'll sort of see how this works. In this case, this is a transcription of this text. And so the editor has chosen to make the title of the pop-up window the word. As you scroll along, you're going to see that every word is the title of the pop-up window that you get when you scroll over that annotation. But then each one also links out to 2 other things. One of them links to the Latin transcription, which is this document here. The other one links to the Latin glossary, which is here. So I'm reading through the manuscript. Now I want to actually see the transcription. I want to see what that looks like. So I'm going to click on this and it's going to open this document up. So I'm here on the page, and where is my usus? So here it is. And you can see that this usus also has an annotation that links out, and it links to the manuscript page. So it's actually linking back here. There's a link between these two annotations, and it also links to the Latin glossary. So the way that DM does these links is it links 2 things together. So if you go to one, it will point always to the other one. And then you can have as many other links as you want. So we link to the Latin glossary. So I'm going to click on the Latin glossary. And this is going to open. So it's linked us directly to the Latin glossary, so we can see immediately what usus means. It means use, usage, nominative, singular, masculine, all of the information that you want. And then this again links to the transcription. So it's linking from here back up to here. And it's also linking the manuscript. So again, we're getting this link up to this instance of usus here. So the links move round and round. You could start, if you wanted to access the edition through the glossary, you could even do that. If there were particular, words that you were interested in, you just go to the glossary and say ecclesia, church assembly. You can see, okay, where does this appear? It appears in the transcription. I want to see it in the manuscript. And there it is. It's right there, right? So DM gives you this ability to link at a very granular level, which is great for, for texts. So this is an example of an addition. Let's look at something a little bit different. So we're going to come out of here and there we go. We're going to come out. We're going to look at the virtual Mappa. The virtual Mappa is sort of the original project that DM was designed for. So Mappa Mundi are these very usually large maps of the world, medieval maps of the world. So the image files are large and there's a lot of data around them. Martin basically designed DM to be able to handle the kind of editing work that was going to have to happen to bring the virtual Mappa to the world. And it's just really lucky that in addition to being able to handle the maps, it can actually handle a lot of other stuff too. So here is the organization for virtual Mappa. Again, we start out with how to use this resource. We have the introductory materials, and then we have the maps themselves. So each map, or sort of group of maps, so TO maps, have their own section on the Higden maps altogether. So we'll start with the Cotton Tiberius B5. Actually, no, let's start with the Hereford map. Very famous maps in Hereford Cathedral. So there's a note, again, on how to use it. There's a document on the description and sources, and then there's the map itself. So let's click on that map and see what happens. So here it comes. It's going to take a minute. And I'm going to close. There we go. So we get the full view. All right. And you can see that there's a lot of annotation going on here. There's the purple annotations. This is a little bit different. The editing project that we looked at had three main documents that we were moving between. There was the glossary, and there was the transcription, and there was the image. This one is done a little bit differently. So in addition to linking aspects of the image with bits of text in a larger document, you can also do just annotations, and that's what is being done here. So here we have each little bit of the image, each little transcription or image, illustration on the image has its own little document that is an annotation. And so in this case, we have the diplomatic transcription, the normalized transcription, and the English transcription. And then there would be notes if there were notes there. If you had to make one single large document with all of that information here, it would be pretty difficult to manage. But that DM has this functionality of making, you can either do one large document, which is great for editing, larger texts, or you can do lots of tiny annotations. Is just really, like, speaking as somebody who makes editions like this, it's really useful. We zoom way in and we can see all of the little bits of the map, that each one of them has been outlined and defined and given an annotation of its own. Another sort of really nice thing about DM is there are a lot of ways that you can draw outlines of things. So in the previous example, the text on the page was marked with underlines. So you can do lines. You can do circles and boxes. And then you can just draw whatever shape you want, which is really useful. I'm looking over here at this manticore. So looking at this manticore, that you don't have to make a box around it. You can actually outline it at a great detail, which is pretty great. So let's see what it has to say about the manticore. So the manticore has its own transcription, translation. Solanus, the manticore, is native to India. Triple series of teeth, the face of a human, yellow eyes, the color of blood, a leonine body, a scorpion's tail, a sibyl's voice. That is pretty intense. And there's an image of the manticore there. So that's pretty great. So you can basically go around the map and, see what's going on, which is pretty neat. Okay, so that's the virtual Mappa project.